Welcome everyone to this session on self-empowerment. Today, we embark on a journey to unlock the incredible potential within each of us. Self-empowerment is not just about feeling good, it's about harnessing our inner strength, resilience, and passion to create the lives we truly desire. Throughout this session, we will explore the tools and strategies to cultivate self empowerment in our daily lives. Self empowerment is a journey, not a destination. So let's dive in together and ignite the fire of empowerment within all of us. I request Vice President, Chamber of Tax Consultants, CA Vijay Bhatt, for his opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ashita. First of all, my pranam to Deepa Behn, Brahmakumari ji representative today. Pranam to Premal Bhai, Ashita, Tanvi, and rest of all the teammates and all the members today. Today, after that month of March, we chartered accountants were all busy with year-end activities, maybe stop taking closing of books of account. Today being the last date of TDS payment for the month of March, and then the bank audits and all. So at the right time, Chamber is back with a membership team with SA series, self-awareness series, so that keeping ourselves afresh for the next season when it starts in the year. It's a new financial year. So my compliments to Premal Bhai and his team who have worked for this particular session. And none other than Deepa ji has come today. She has agreed. In spite of that, she is out of station today. She is in Panchgani, busy with her schedule of various her seminars over there. And she has spared her valuable time for all of us to lead to this particular session today. Just before that, a word on the activities of the Chamber of Tax Consultants, particularly those who are non-members attending today. The Chamber of Tax Consultants, in short, CTC, is a non-profit organization of the professionals being chartered accountants, advocates, company secretaries, and so on, working for the development of various tax laws, whether it is direct tax, indirect tax, international taxation, and so on. With its various committees, it carries on various activities in the field of development of law, making representations to the government for betterment of law, spreading its wings across India in various cities, like we have Bangalore Study Circle, Pune Study Circle, Hyderabad Study Circle, we have Delhi chapter. So, friends, wherever you can possibly, now after COVID, we are all available online. Be member of the Chamber of Tax Consultant, involve yourself in the activities, take part of the all the activities in the chamber. Also, we are soon approaching our centenary year. Our association was formed in 1926. So we will be soon entering our centenary year after a year or so, where we'll be having many activities for all of us together. Let chambers benefit go to you and your benefit come to chamber. With that, without taking not much of the time between you and our learned speaker today, who will guide to us through this wonderful session. Back to Ashita.
Thank you, Vijay sir, for your wonderful remarks. I request Chairman CA Premal Gandhi for his remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ashita. Thank you, Vijay, for your brilliant insights to the work that Chamber is doing. Rightly said that after the completion of the year-end work, today it could have not been a better day to start the activities for the new year. And that is where probably the topic also holds relevance, that maybe we need to look more inside and explore our inner strengths to maybe guide us and help us in the coming, with the complexities in the coming year. And that is where probably the topic of today's self-empowerment for excellence holds good. Because if you go back and see, there have been studies which say that human mind is maybe used only 3% by average people. And if that is the amount of capability that we have in ourselves, for just imagine if we do use it into double digits, where could it land up? And probably that is one thing that we all look forward for excellence. And I think we could not have found a better speaker who will help us, guide us deep dive rather than ourselves for our inner strength for excellence. And obviously, Deepa Behn has been very, very kind enough. I really like to thank Deepa Behn from the bottom of our heart to take this invitation and come forward to share the time and spread the knowledge so that we could all grow together. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much.
And obviously, we would like to hear more from you rather than me. So, back to Ashita.
Thank you, sir. Before we introduce our esteemed speaker, let's take a moment to reflect on the power of learning from one another. Each one of us brings unique experiences and insights to the table, enriching our collective journey towards self-empowerment. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from someone who embodies the spirit of empowerment and has valuable wisdom to share. Her expertise will undoubtedly inspire and guide us on our path to personal growth. So, without further ado, let me briefly introduce our speaker for the evening. Sister Deepa is associated with the Brahmakumari since her childhood and has dedicated her life since 35 years. At present, she is rendering her spiritual services at Brahmakumari's Vile Parle Center. She is a senior faculty and conducts self-development and Raj Yoga meditation workshops at various educational, social, medical, business, banking, and many other institutions. She also conducts several workshops and programs at national conferences held in Mount Abu, the headquarters of Brahmakumaris. Along with conducting Raj Yoga meditation courses, Sister Deepa also provides counseling to youth and individuals. With this brief introduction, I request Deepa ji to please come and enlighten our audience. Over to you, Deepa ji.
Thank you so much, sister, and thank you so much, Vijay bhai, Piramal bhai. It's a wonderful experience to come and interact and share maybe our thoughts, which at the Brahmakumaris we are also learning every day. And I think self-empowerment is such a beautiful journey, which each one of us in its own way has started. But let's see how we can move further in this journey and allow ourselves to have this constant experience of moving ahead. And I think as we are moving ahead and understanding, maybe self-empowerment as such is an experience which we surely aim to have it in our daily life, but moving towards excellence in different areas of our life. It is this experience of constant well-being within, which we feel that we need to maintain, sustain, nurture, and where we are able to even move beyond those very subtle limitations internally, those very subtle little barriers which sometimes are there, which don't allow us to give our best in every situation. And how can I move beyond those little limitations and subtle barriers within, which are in the form of my thoughts, my attitudes, my perceptions, the way I deal with situations, and yet be able to internally be very light throughout the day, contributing, yet being very light. And so this balance is so important, because I'm sure today also must have been a busy day, because as whichever was saying that it's the end of the year, and then you have your last date for your taxation and this and that, and so many things which you need to do throughout the day, and constantly be contributing in your professional work, but also being able to contribute in the family and your personal, your own health, and so many areas of our life which we need to take care. Those 24 hours become very less for us. And yet in that busy life, how can I remain very light, easy within? Where I understand that every thought, word, and behavior, response of mine to situations adds energy. Then I can really sustain this empowerment. Because throughout the day, I'm thinking, I'm creating feelings, emotions, I'm speaking, and I'm acting, that is responding. But every aspect of my expression, how does it add energy within? So that I can nurture that experience of empowerment or well-being. Let's try to understand different aspects, whenever we talk about this complete experience of well-being or empowerment, which area of life you think we need to focus on, strengthen, empower, maybe nurture, replenish? Different areas of our life in front of us, but which one we think we need to base ourselves on? We have so many of our work commitments, we have so many responsibilities in the family also. We need to spend time there, contribute. We have surely need to take care of our health, so we need to invest time there. We have some of our hobbies which we would be following. So many areas of our life. But which one you think we should really strengthen every day? We need to take time for that. Can we also talk? Is it okay? Ashita, they can also respond and talk. If you're not allowed to speak, at least you can message. And then I'll also see the chats, and Ashita, you can also guide me. Yes? So I would like you to also talk. You can hear me, no? Ashita?
Yeah. Can hear.
So you need to, what do you think, which area of life we need to strengthen every day? Self. We always knew this, no? This is not an answer which we didn't know. But what happens in our daily life? We feel we'll do that. It is important. But let's just finish this commitment which we have. So I have this commitment in the family. I have this commitment at work. Let me finish all this, and then I'll create time for the self. And then, what happens is that we keep postponing. And yet then after some time, we find that we really are not able to remove that time at all. What we learn through spirituality and meditation is that the time which we invest in self, even at a thought level, even at a practical level, the time and energy we invest automatically will help us or benefit us in every area of our life. So actually, the investment of our time and energy will give us much more benefit or result in different areas of our life. Because somewhere we find that our state of mind has a direct impact on many things outside. What are those things where our state of mind is impacting? First, it's impacting my health. Yes, all of us realize this today. Because today doctors are slowly telling us, reminding us, and making us more aware that our stress levels need to be taken care of. Most of our illnesses today are psychosomatic. And so we need to take care of how we are thinking, how we are dealing with situations. And we find that, even our doctors today are guiding us that along with other healing aspects which are taken care of, we need to spend that little time to reflect, to be relaxed, to meditate. We have a medical wing in the Brahmakumaris where we invite experts from this field in Mount Abu to have retreats. And we have this, every year mind body medicine seminars there in Mount Abu. We'll be having in September now. So different wings, different areas of society. So we have nearly 21 wings where we have these residential retreats. And in one of such retreats, this doctor very nicely was sharing with us his understanding, which they have experimented with on healing. And he said, with the worldwide understanding, through even the understanding which the WHO gives us, he was talking about healing. And he said 1/3 healing happens through our thoughts and feelings. And we were talking about this aspect called placebo. Have you heard of this placebo effect? What is placebo? Placebo effect is where your thoughts and feelings, when you're taking some medicine or some other treatment, your thoughts and feelings have an impact. Have you heard of this before? Where there was this group of patients where they are, told that they are going to take medicine from this doctor, and they have complete faith and trust in the doctor, years and years. And what they did was, in that experiment, rather than giving the patient any medicine, they just gave him a preparation of just sugar and distilled water. But the patient knew that This medicine is coming from this doctor who had 100% faith in. And with this medicine, he knew that he'll get well. And after 3 days, he's okay, he's fine. And they talk about placebo surgery also. So this doctor very beautifully was sharing that 1/3 of our healing is taking place by our thoughts, feelings, emotions. If you're creating those thoughts and feelings and emotions which are helping the body to heal, 1/3 healing is on the basis of our lifestyle changes. What is lifestyle changes? We know that, good nutrition, taking care of the food, that's healthy. And then also, we have this therapies which we go through, trying to detox ourselves. Also, being able to take care of exercise, including exercise in our daily life, either walk or yoga or pranayama or something or the other, and good sleep and many other things. But these are the 3 important things for lifestyle changes. And 1/3 healing takes place from medicines, medical treatment. So 2/3 healing is whose choice? Whose choice? Yes. 2/3 healing for my body is whose choice? To keep myself healthy, it is whose choice? Yes, my choice. I take responsibility to heal myself. So when I take care of my state of mind, I'm automatically helping my body to heal. So today we find to take care of a state of mind is necessary even if I want to keep myself healthy. And so this state of mind has a direct impact on health. Relationships, do you think your mind influences relationships? What do you think? Relationships with myself, relationships with people around me, my family, immediate family, then relationships with people whom I work with, your clients, your team with it, who you work with whom you coordinate with, then maybe in this association, in the chamber, then maybe other activities you have, some social activities you have, you're working with some charitable organizations, NGOs. So the relationships there. Yes. So what I'm thinking is also influencing my interaction. Yes. My relationship with myself. Yes. Am I happy being myself? Can I ask myself this question? Take a moment with yourself. Just close your eyes and ask yourself this question. Am I happy being myself? Do I love myself? Yes. What's the answer? It's good if we can interact, no? If we keep interacting, then there'll be more learning. What is the experience? Yes. You can at least chat, even if you cannot speak. You can keep chatting. Yes. My relationship with myself, this constant self-talk is going on. Even when you're listening to me, there is some self-talk going on. Yes. And what is the quality of that self-talk? Is my self-talk always positive? Am I talking always positively with myself and saying, very good, you're great, you're moving ahead? Mostly negative. We realize that most of our self-talk is negative. And so what's the energy coming to me? Yes, anxious. Will this happen? Will that not happen? Will I be able to do my best? Whenever we're talking about excellence, we have this target in front of us, what's the constant self-talk? Hoga, nahi hoga, kar sakenge, nahi kar sakenge. Will I be able to give my best? Will I be able to be appreciated? Will I be acknowledged? Will whatever I speak or do, will it make sense? Will it be important? Will it be liked? Yes. It's wonderful if we can always have a positive self-talk, even in situations where I'm dealing with failure. So when we're talking about excellence, it's not only on situations where things are happening good, because always things don't be pleasant, no? Not every decision which I take works out. Not every interaction which I have works out in my workplace also, in my work commitments also. I may get a deal, I may not get a deal. I may be able to satisfy the client. Maybe he keeps on with me for the next year. Maybe he's not satisfied, so he leaves me. So those different situations keep happening. In that also, when maybe I lose a client, or maybe I lose a deal, maybe I get a negative feedback. At that time also, am I still able to have positive self-talk? Am I still able to tell myself it's okay, everything will be fine, you'll be able to learn and move ahead? Am I able to do that? Yes. And that's excellence. That's moving ahead. Yes. Am I able to do that? What do you think? At present, am I able to do that? When things are happening good, I mean, I'm accepted, appreciated, that time, well, okay, I feel good. But when things are not happening as I planned, when I'm not accepted or appreciated, that time also, is there positive self-talk? No, it doesn't happen. Immediately I start thinking negative about myself, and those thoughts, what do they do about this journey of self-empowerment? As soon as I think negative, why did this happen? Never doesn't work out. Always something or the other problem happens. I don't know why this is happening. Always it happens with me. So these thoughts, what do? They very, subtly, unknowingly deplete my energy, deplete my self-esteem. And when my self-esteem is depleted, what happens to excellence? What happens to all the competencies and capabilities and skills and abilities which I have? What happens? Am I able to express that and reflect that? When my self-esteem is low, what happens? Yes, I will need you to interact so that I know you're here. Because most of you don't, your videos are off. So I really don't know whether you're here. So please do interact. Whenever there's this negative self-talk, what happens? Yes. Are you able to hear?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. So then please respond so that I know that we are together. What happens in that moment of negative self-talk? My self-esteem goes down, and what happens to excellence at that time? I have the competencies, I have the capabilities, but am I able to reflect that? Am I able to, use that? Yes. So having everything also, I'm not able to create that magic in my work, in my, maybe performance, in my interaction, in the way I do work or do things, maybe in my relationships. So it's so important for me to have a good relationship with myself. Excellence depends on how good I feel about myself. How every day I am able to nurture that deep sense of self-worth. That will give me the ability to give my best. Because 24/7, I'm with myself. I cannot risk, or I cannot afford to think negatively about myself, because that's the energy I'm coming towards myself. And so it's so important for me to have this wonderful, positive, and a very encouraging relationship, friendly relationship with myself. Like suppose I, maybe I am upset about something, and I just call my friend and I say, things are not working. I have to give this presentation. I'm not feeling so good. I'm feeling very, low, and I'm not sure about how it'll go. I have this important meeting, or I have this important interaction. What does your friend tell you? Yes. Your friend tells you, don't worry, everything will go okay. No? Your friend very lovingly comforts you, encourages you. And after that talk, you feel so charged, and then you're going to immediately jump into that conversation or maybe presentation or meeting with a very good state of mind, with relaxed state of mind, because of that interaction which you have had with your friend. But can we do that to ourselves every day? Can we not talk to ourselves also lovingly every day? Be a mentor, be a good guide, pep up ourselves also every day. That's what meditation teaches us. How I can constantly create time every day, throughout my daily schedule, maybe every hour, every 2 hours, that little 1 minute where I can heal myself and help my spirit, lift my spirit, again affirm my own positive feelings, my own, good feelings about myself, my own confidence, my own self-esteem. Once I have a good relationship with myself, then I can add value to every relationship in my life. I can give. I become the giver. Today, why relationships are not working so well, whether it's parents or children, relationship between parents and children, between life partners, between maybe clients and customers, between maybe a team, teammates. So you have these colleagues together. Some way or the other, we have become more the ones who are wanting something from each other. Takers, askers, we need to become givers. That's why we always worship deities, they are givers. So whenever I have expectations from people, I become a taker. And when I'm able to see the goodness of every individual, I'm able to respect them, have good wishes for them, I become the giver. Now, what happens is every relationship, suppose maybe we begin with the family. Now, two life partners. Suppose somehow in the morning breakfast conversation which they had, there was a little conflict of ideas, maybe about maybe the child, going to a particular college, or maybe the child has exams and maybe the child wants to go to this picnic, and the one parent saying, no, he should focus on studies, so he should not go for the picnic. The other parent feels, no, it's very close to his heart and he'll miss it, and so he needs to go, and then we'll take care that he's spends time properly for his studies later. So there's an argument, and maybe there's a little harsh words which are spoken, friction, and maybe later on after the conversation, if something negative has been spoken by one person to the other and it's not ended well. And so now people go to work. So the husband goes, the wife goes. Throughout the day, what are they thinking about each other? What will be they thinking about each other? This happens, no? Many times. It happens. Yes, it happens sometimes. We have a conversation where we have a conflict of ideas, and maybe sometimes it becomes a little unpleasant. And then we move back into our daily activities. Throughout the day, then I have these thoughts. Why did my life partner not understand me? I've always supported them. I've always done whatever they said. And yet they didn't understand me. They didn't support me. Yes, it happens. And so we find that what is the energy we are radiating to each other? Yes. What would be the energy we have been radiating to each other throughout the day? And we expect that in the evening when we meet each other, then maybe, the life partner, the other person, the spouse will come up to me and say, oh, I'm sorry for the conversation in the morning. Actually, your point of view was also okay. But does it happen? Does it happen? Yes. Are you with me? Does it happen? What do you think? Yes. Does that happen? Throughout the day, we have been given a lot of negative feelings and emotions. So what happens when we meet in the end of the day? Will we be able to say sorry to each other? No, because throughout the day, the energy which we have sent has not been very positive. And so the relationship had moved a little more away from each other. Yes. And so it's so important, even children and parents today. We have this is the time, it's April end today, yes, and May, and our children camps have started in all our centers. And so in the children camp for about a week, we have week or 10 days, we have children coming to us, those whose parents are coming in the Brahmakumaris, and some people, the parents, are not coming, but they are just friends of the other, friends who are coming, other children who are coming. And so we have these children, and they have spent a lot of workshops for them. And so these little children, we have little games for them, we have little activities for them, which they can understand these spiritual values. And we really enjoy interacting with them because there's a lot of learning. And most of them, they keep telling us, so when they listen to, some of the inputs on meditation, when they listen to some of these things about positive thinking and all that, and that's a time when they come up to us and tell us, दीदी आपको पता है थोड़ी ये बातें हमको मम्मी डैडी को भी सिखानी है. क्यों मम्मी डैडी को सिखानी है? क्योंकि मम्मी डैडी बहुत झगड़ा करते हैं. Yes, they come up to us and tell us कि वीक में दीदी 1 या 2 बार तो बहुत झगड़ा होता है. और दीदी जो कारण है ना झगड़े का, कोई नहीं होता है, कुछ नहीं होता है. लेकिन दीदी जब वो झगड़ा करते हैं ना, तो एक दूसरे के लिए बहुत नेगेटिव बोलते हैं और हमें बहुत डर लगता है, हमें अच्छा नहीं लगता है. दीदी हमको कुछ सिखाओ ना जो हम मम्मी डैडी को सिखा सके कि वो आपस में झगड़ा नहीं करे. What should we tell the child? Yes, क्या बोले बच्चे को, क्या समझाएं? So we find it so important for us to understand that the environment at home, our feelings for each other automatically influences the energy of the house, especially children. और बच्चों के लिए हम समझ कहते हैं कि they are not mature, they don't understand, they get influenced by the world, they get influenced by their friends, but sometimes they are more mature, they understand. It's so important for us to understand that it's the thoughts and feelings which we are radiating to everyone in our family, at work, in society is what strengthens relationships. Okay, let's have a small little exercise. Are you together with me? Yes, are you with me? Yes, okay. Now in this exercise, for a minute, I think you may not be able to see me because of the sunlight and all coming, but at least you can hear me. So we have 1 minute, 60 seconds. In 60 seconds, how many maybe, actions, like suppose you go up to the office of someone, you meet each other. When you go up and enter the office of your colleague, you will welcome them, you'll ask them to sit down, you'll give them a cup of coffee, you'll maybe give them some biscuits, shake hands with them, say namaste to them. So in a minute, how many actions can I perform? In 1 minute? How many actions? Yes. Action level, expression. Karma se, actions, how many can I perform, can I do in a minute? 60 seconds is what? 3. Okay, plus 3. And how many words I can express in a minute, which the other person should understand? Yes? 5, maybe 10 also is okay, no? So maybe I have this client with me, or maybe I have this family member with me whom I appreciate. And so I try to express my respect and appreciation. I welcome them, I make them sit, maybe it's a client, and I speak something very good with them. And so it's plus 3 and plus 10. But I'm not happy with this client. I'm not happy with this individual because I've spent so much of time, invested so much of time trying to do some work for them, give them a lot of information and this thing, but they are not ready to pay me. They are not ready to acknowledge me. And now I'm not happy with them at all. So internally, I'm upset. So what will be the quality of my thoughts? They are negative. Now in a minute, how many thoughts can I create? Words we said, about 10. Actions we said about 3. In 60 seconds, how many thoughts? How many thoughts? Yes. Thoughts will be many more, not 10, more. 60 seconds, many thoughts. So they say average, brain experts, they have found that average we have about 50 thoughts which we create. And so they will be okay. 30, 40 is also fine. So minus 40 or minus 50. What will be the impact on our relationship? What will be the impact on the relationship? Yes, the impact will be negative. Yes. And so it's so important for us to understand that relationships are not about what we are speaking and behaving doing or giving. Maybe to the child, we give a lot of resources, a lot of gadgets and all that. But it's about what we feel, the vibrations, our quality of unconditional love and acceptance for each other, where we're always giving, wanting to understand, wanting to give. And when relationships are good, then what happens at workplace? We have some targets which we have kept for ourselves. What happens to all those targets? What happens? Yes, the relationships are well, maybe at work, maybe with your clients, maybe with your team. What happens to your performance, to your targets, and to the vision which you have created together? What happens to that? Where there's respect, there's good coordination, you understand each other, you support each other. In the team, you're ready to be a team player sometime, you're ready to be a team leader sometime. You have good synergy, good wishes for each other, respect for each other. What happens to responsibilities then? What happens to work? Yes? Yes? What happens to our targets then? If our relationships are doing well, what happens to our targets? Yes? We're able to achieve them, no? We're able to give our best. We're able to reach that level of excellence for the organization also. We're able to give that 100% there. And so it's so important for us to understand that relationships help us to fulfill responsibilities more easily. And when we are able to give our best at responsibilities, what happens to the energy which we are radiating? What happens to the energy? Are you there? Yeah. The energy which we are radiating in the world is more strength, more peace, lots of respect for each other, unity, good wishes, family feeling. What does the world need? What is the energy which the world needs? What is the energy which our workplace, the space where we work needs? What is the energy which our family needs? Yes, what do you think? What is the energy which the world needs? Whether it's our family, whether it's our workspace, whether it's this, chamber of tax consultants, what's the energy which all these different spaces, these different worlds need? Happy energy, yes. What else? What's the other energy which it needs? Positive energy, joyous energy. Why? Why do we need to be happy? What happens to our work performance when we are happy and positive and joyful, and we feel, the compassion for each other? We feel that togetherness, it boosts our performance. So automatically there is a ripple effect. As soon as we become happy, as soon as we feel more comfortable with each other, we feel that we are being respected in this environment, we feel that sense of belongingness in the environment, automatically we are able to give our best. So performance at an individual level and organizational level both jumps up. So it's so important for us to understand that our state of mind internally has a very natural influence on many things outside. Now, when we're talking about state of mind for the self, as soon as I take care of my state of mind, I'm adding energy. What is the energy I'm adding? Because when we're talking about self-empowerment, it means increasing my power. But where? Increasing my power where? Because when I eat well, exercise well, and I have good sleep, I can see my physical energy increasing. So then I know that throughout the day, I'm doing so many activities, but I'm not getting tired. I know that I need to sleep less, and yet I'm so effective. Maybe at a physical level, if I need to, lift things, yes, I'm able to do that, So I can understand my physical energy that has increased. What happens to my spiritual energy when I'm able to add that energy? So when I'm adding my energy, I'm always taking care of nurturing my self-respect. So left-hand side, those things which are written in the left-hand side column, those things we already have. Right-hand side is my choice. Now I'm always with myself. Whether I add energy and think good about myself and focus on my virtues and qualities is my choice. So when I'm taking care of my state of mind, when I take responsibility for my state of mind, then I keep nurturing my self-esteem. I take up a principle. Maybe I take up a pledge that from today, I will never think negatively about myself. I will only think good about myself. मैं अपने बारे में सिर्फ और सिर्फ अच्छा सोचूंगा. Are we able to take that pledge today? I would request you to do that. Is it possible? At least you can send a message whether you're ready to take this pledge. मैं अपने बारे में सिर्फ और सिर्फ अच्छा सोचूंगा या अच्छा सोचूंगी. I will only think good about myself. Yes? हम सब लेंगे ये pledge, please. It's a request. हर एक को ये आज pledge लेना है. मुझे अपने बारे में अच्छा ही सोचना है. Even though I've not done well, but I have to focus on my virtues, learn from the situation, move ahead. Yes? So I am going to constantly only boost up my self-esteem and self-confidence every day. ठीक है? Future के बारे में. जब भी हम अपने भविष्य के बारे में सोचते हैं, whenever we plan for our future, yes, we will always be optimistic. Yeah, we are open to things which may not be right. We are open that some things which we have planned may not work. So we have those plan B and we have that plan C. We can do all that. But we will only think positive. We will only be optimistic. ये होना ही है. अच्छा हो ही जाएगा. हम अगर बीमार हैं, हम डॉक्टर के पास गए, ट्रीटमेंट लिया, मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगी. I went to a client, I gave a presentation, our relationship will be very good. We will have a good relationship. Whether immediately the client accepts me and wants to work with me, or maybe he just wants to keep me in his list and maybe whenever he needs, he'll come back to me, doesn't matter. But our relationship, our meeting will be very good. Yes? So every time I do anything, I plan for the future, I always think about my future as something which is going to be very good. Past, I choose to only learn from my past. Yes. So it could have happened. Things would have been difficult. I may have not been my best. I may have maybe unknowingly worked with my weaknesses. I may have reacted. I may have been unpleasant towards someone. I may have not been able to manage some situation. I may have done a silly mistake. I may have hurt someone, but I will learn and move ahead. I will learn from every situation. I will allow the past to be the past, learn and move ahead. Beeti ko bindi lagana hai. It's very beautifully said in our daily, spiritual study. Beeti ko bindi. Bindi means full stop. Putting a full stop means learning and moving ahead. Present is my choice. In this moment, what I'm thinking is my choice. Now, all of you have closed your videos, okay? And surely you're on mute because so that there's no disturbance. I understand that. But you could be doing anything. Yes? Multitasking, listening to this presentation, interaction, but doing other things also. Now, what you're thinking in this moment is whose choice? I am speaking to you. I am sharing what I feel is, my experiences. But what you are sitting here and thinking is whose choice? You could be thinking about something what I am speaking, or you could be thinking of something else which is important, which you are doing together. What you're thinking at this moment is whose choice? Is whose choice? Yes? आपको तो जवाब तो मैसेजेस में देना है. Yours? Your own. आपका choice है. What you're thinking in this moment is only and only your choice. ऐसा है ना? Yes, it is your choice. So it's so important for us to understand that this present is always my choice. In this second, what I'm thinking, what thought I'm creating, feeling, emotion is only and only my choice. The outside world, what's happening is not my choice. But this inside world is completely my choice. I am the master here. Do I realize that? Do I realize that every moment of my life I'm the master within? Most of us, many times we find that we are in the victim consciousness. Oh, क्या करूं? उसने ऐसा कहा इसलिए मैं upset हो गया. That person said something, so I was upset. ये हुआ, ये नहीं होता तो मैं ठीक रहता. ये हो गया ना तो क्या करूं? बहुत tension हो गया. You know, so I'm constantly some way or the other allowing people and situations around to be, you know, affecting me. Yes, the stimulus is from the outside. There's a lot of stimulus around me. But what I'm thinking here, what I'm feeling here is whose choice? It's only mine. So this present is mine. Whatever I want, I can create in this present. It's my power. So once I understand that the energy which I create, that I choose to only think that thought, feeling, create that emotion, which will empower me. Relationships, every relationship, including myself, I am ready to only give good wishes, see the best. Okay? Harmony in relationships. You think it's important? Harmony in relationships? Zaruri hai? What do you think? Relationships में harmony जरूरी है? Yes? जवाब तो दे सकते हैं. Harmony जरूरी है. So today we will give you a different understanding of harmony. One of our very senior dadijis very sweetly said, harmony माना क्या? मैंने हार मानी, आप जीते, हार मानी. I'm ready to forgive. हार मानना सहज है? हार मानना सहज है? क्या कहेंगे? सहज है? मैंने हार मानी, आप जीते. So अगर मैंने हार मानी और जीते, suppose you take a situation of two life partners. होता है ना कई बार, विचारों में अंतर होता है ना. अच्छा, टू लाइफ पार्टनर्स, अगर आपने हार मानी और अपने लाइफ पार्टनर को जिता दिया, कौन जीता? कौन जीता? अच्छा, कौन हारा? हाँ, कौन जीता? दोनों जीते. आपका संबंध जीता, आपका परिवार जीता. आपके संबंध को जीतना जरूरी है ना, आपके परिवार को जीतना जरूरी है ना. और कौन हारा? अच्छा ठीक है, जीता कौन वो तो हमने समझा, हारा कौन? अगर आपने हार मानकर अपने लाइफ पार्टनर को जिता दिया, चलो आपने जो कहा वैसे करते, both win. And who loses? Who loses? Someone loses. Amongst you no one loses, ego loses. आप अहम भाव जो है ना, अहम जो है ना आपके संबंध में, वो हार जाता है. हारना चाहिए ना अहम को, और आप दोनों के प्यार को जीतना चाहिए, आप दोनों के संबंध को जीतना चाहिए, आपके परिवार को जीतना चाहिए. ऐसा है ना? So we decide that in every relationship we are ready to take that initiative to forgive. Important? ठीक है? Take that initiative to give good wishes. Role, whatever we are playing, whether in the organization, like in this also you have roles to play in the chamber, or whether in your office, or whether in the house. Whatever role you're playing, you have to play it in a very beautiful way. That is with your virtues and qualities. Creativity. Like suppose as a parent, today as a parent also, रियल लाइफ में भी करना जरूरी है. रिलेशनशिप्स में सिंपल है कहना, पर रियल लाइफ में भी अगर आप नहीं सामने वाले को जिताते हैं, आप नहीं कहते हो, आप हार नहीं मानते हो, तो जीवन भर हार जाते हो. अगर मतभेद में हम आते हैं ना, मे बी लिटिल कॉन्वर्सेशन, लिटिल स्मॉल, लिटिल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स, इफ यू नो लिटिल फ्रिक्शन इज ओके, वो थोड़ा फिर भी इंजॉयबल रहता है. सुबह कोई बात हो गई, शाम तक सेटल हो गया, वो ठीक है, चलेगा. बट अगर नहीं सेटल हुआ, हार नहीं मानी, क्षमा नहीं किया, रात को वो बात मन में रह गई, 1 दिन 2 दिन 3 दिन, कितने दिन वो बात मन में रह जाती है, वो संबंध क्या हो जाता है? वो संबंध क्या हो जाता है? खिंचता जाता है. और उसके वजह से घर का एनवायरनमेंट क्या हो जाता है? व्हाट हैपेंस टू द एनवायरनमेंट एट होम? सो इम्पोर्टेंट टू फॉरगिव. इट बिकम्स सो इजी. करके देख लीजिए, बहुत सहज है. We find that the roles which we are playing as a parent, as a maybe institution, if we are in the chambers of commerce, we have a role which is important. We are a leader, or maybe in the organization, we are a colleague, we are the head, whatever role we are playing, we have to play it with our qualities. Today, children require parents, but what type of parents? मम्मी डैडी चाहिए, लेकिन कैसे मम्मी डैडी चाहिए बच्चों को? स्ट्रिक्ट या फ्रेंडली? क्या कहेंगे? कैसे पेरेंट्स चाहिए? जो स्पेस दे या वो हमेशा रिस्ट्रिक्ट करें? कैसे पेरेंट्स चाहिए? क्या कहेंगे? Every colleague whom we work with, what do we prefer? A colleague who's always a support system, or who's always checking us? ये किया नहीं किया, वो किया, supervisory person who's always supervising. कैसा चाहिए? So we have to work with our virtues and qualities. As a parent also, it's so important for us to be just a friend, because after some time the child actually doesn't need parenting, just needs that loving friend, just needs a loving mentor, just needs an encouraging coach to be around, where the child feels so secure. Yes. And so important to play every role according to the needs of the present. Knowledge, I have a lot of understanding, but I need to imbibe it. Applied knowledge is power. If I'm not doing what I'm saying, it really doesn't matter. आज बच्चों को भी पता पड़ जाता है. हमारे पास बच्चे आते हैं ना कैंप पे, मैंने आपको बताया, we have lot of children coming, sometimes parents, they also bring their children to see the center and all that. So we have these little children coming, and then we are very good friends with them. And this little girl, she was just starting her junior KG, and she was so excited to share something with us. And she said, दीदी आपको पता है, एक बात बताऊं, टीचर जो है ना क्लास में आकर जोर से बोलती है, silence please, because little children are there, junior KG, you can imagine those little children, and they are all talking amongst each other, making noises. So maybe the teacher is wanting to silence them because she wants to begin her class. So she says, दीदी टीचर कहती है silence please, but दीदी टीचर जो है ना वो जोर से बोल रही है, वो डांट रही है, वो गुस्सा कर रही है. So the child understands the difference. कि मुझे टीचर कह रही है silence please, but टीचर silent नहीं है. The child understands the difference. So the only knowledge which can be really inspiration can be taken from that knowledge only when it's imbibed. I need to walk my talk. What do you think? Whether it's children, whether it's friends, whether it's colleagues, what do you think? You need to walk your talk. We need to be a role model. Yes. What do you think? Only that knowledge you can be impacted what I am practicing in my daily life. So knowing a lot is important, it's good, but practicing it. Money, what comes with blessings? Because you're a group of tax consultants, you know how to manage money much better. Yes. But that money which comes with blessings is the money which gives a lot of strength, which gives lots of empowerment. The money which does not come with blessings, which comes with pain, which comes with suffering, where some people who have given you that money feel they've been cheated or they've not been taken care of, that money will not empower your life. Time, how I can use this moment in the present is so important. So most of us, we manage our time, but our time is managed only if we are able to manage our thoughts, words, and actions. So we do time management where actions are there. Okay, this time I'm meeting this person, I'm doing this task, I'm doing that. But what about our thoughts? Am I taking care of that? My own thoughts, what I'm thinking, am I taking care of that? So important, no? And so there we understand that it's so important for us to take care of our thoughts. As soon as I start relaxing and allowing my minds to be calm, only think about those thoughts which are practical and productive, what happens? My time is saved. A lot of my time is wasted today because of worry. बहुत चिंता करते हैं, बैठते हैं चिंतन करने के लिए, लेकिन चिंता ज्यादा करते हैं. Do you think like this? आपको ऐसे लगता है? जी, आप रिस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हैं. आपको लगता है ऐसा कि हम चिंतन करने बैठते हैं और चिंता में जल्दी चले जाते हैं? ऐसे लगता है? So most of the time we feel we are working, we have a lot of pressure, we have a lot of work. But when we're talking about work, are we working or are we worrying? You have to check that. So a lot of time is getting wasted, depleted in worrying. So when we take care of these things, we find that we are able to add energy, add strength, add even time to our life, which is so important. And so here we find that when we are taking care of my state of mind, my inner self becomes very important. This state of mind or the self is like the hub of a wheel. So just like in this, maybe slide which you're seeing, you can see that the hub is that portion of the wheel, the mid portion, the metal in the middle. And this metal, the quality of this metal is it's very, very strong and very stable. And what happens if the hub starts moving? What happens to the wheel? क्या हो जाता है? If the hub starts moving? Yes? क्या हो जाता है? Yeah, the wheel slows down and then it just comes out. So it's so important for me to understand that what is the hub of my life or the eye of the storm that is movement, work, pressures all around me. What is the eye of the storm? Activities all around me, my world all around me, different things happening around me. What is the hub? हब क्या है? आसपास के स्टॉर्म में आई ऑफ द स्टॉर्म कहाँ है? Within my own self. My own inner self is the eye of the storm. It's the hub. And how do I keep that so peaceful, so powerful and positive? And I allow my inner calmness to become my nature. Yes. And so when we see this, we find that, when we see ourselves as a human being, we recognize that the human comes from the word humus, which means matter, and the being is energy. Just make a little movement so that maybe you can see me a little better. Visibility is less, but sorry about that. I think you can't see me, no? It's difficult. Okay, now when you're talking about the self, we are talking about our physical self and our spiritual being. Now, when you're seeing this picture, you're seeing this beautiful light which is seated in the forehead. Now, when you talk about ourself as a human being, human comes from the word humus, which means matter, soil, and being means energy. Yeah. Okay. Now, human and being. So we call ourselves human being. Today, how much time am I investing to empower, energize, replenish, nurture, strengthen the humus? And how much time am I investing to empower, energize, beautify, strengthen, rejuvenate, replenish the being? What do you think? Yes? Eighty 20. And sometimes the 20 is also less, no? Sometimes it becomes 10, sometimes it becomes 5, and sometimes when we are in a rush, we have a lot of work to do, then we say, let's do it later. Yes? And so we postpone it. And so we find that there are these two aspects of our personality, which both are very important, our innate self and our acquired self. Innate self connects with the inner personality, the being, and the acquired self connects with our human personality. which is the physical being. And we find that the acquired self, when we talk about ourselves, I mean, each one of you, suppose I ask you to introduce yourself, you'll talk about your name, your role, your image, your possessions, your skills, your capabilities, your activities which you're doing in the organization, maybe at a personal level, your professional capabilities, your achievements, your relationships, okay, you, this person's wife or spouse, or maybe this person's son or daughter, from this family, from this state, from this language, your maybe belief systems, your religion. So all these aspects belong to you. We talk about my name, my role, my language, my religion, my achievements. But who am I? Yes? Who am I? The innate is a very important part of our personality, because that my expression in the world, my contribution in the world is through the acquired. So the acquired is important. But the acquired belongs to me. Whenever I'm talking about the acquired, I say it's my name, my profession, my role, my achievements, my position, my language, my state, my religion. But who am I? Important to know? You think it's important to know? Who am I? What do you think? Important to know. So when we're talking about excellence, we know, understand the acquired well, and we are putting all our effort, all our energies are focused to make this acquired better and better and more effective, more efficient, so that we can give our best there. But that belongs to me. Who am I? I am this being, the spiritual being. We call it different spiritual, in spiritual language, we call it soul, or we call it spirit, we call it energy. That is my identity. So I am the innate using the acquired. Now, for me to constantly have that experience of excellence in every field, whether internally or externally, have this experience of excellence, who should be the master, the innate or the acquired? Who should be the master? What do you think? Who should be the master? The innate. Today, who is the master? Yes. Who is the master? The acquired. Yes. And that's what we need to really switch. We need to allow the innate to become the master, so that we can experience that sustained excellence in every field. We can experience that holistic experience of excellence or joy, or achievement, or that sense of well-being in every field constantly. And how do I make the innate the master? I am the innate. I am this being of light. I am the spiritual self. But how can I make it the master? Yes. So we find that we realize that we talk about the time which we were sharing. We asked you that what is the time which we are investing to empower the innate, and how much time are we investing to empower the acquired? How much attention, concern do we have to beautify, strengthen, recharge, or replenish the innate, and how much time, concern, and attention we have to beautify, strengthen, and recharge the acquired? What do we find? Most of our time, attention, concern is directed where? Only to the acquired. And that's why we find we are unable to empower the innate, because we don't have that sense of priority for it. We give time only to those things which we feel are important. Today you are there with me in this session because you felt it was important. Yes? Yes, you had many other commitments. There are many other important things which you could have done, but still you created time and you're with me. So you give time to only that which you consider as important. So why are we not able to give time to our innate? Why are we not able to give time to our innate? Because somewhere that's not topping in our list of priority, no? Somewhere it's no longer important for us. Why? Because we don't realize that we are the innate. The identity awareness is only of the acquired, but the identity of the spiritual self is missing. And that's why spiritual understanding gives us this learning that I am the spiritual being using the acquired. And so we find that when we are talking about excellence, we need to understand that we need to empower this innate along with the acquired. We can't choose one, we have to do both, because both are important, both are aspects of our identity. But only thing is that the innate has to lead. Then we can sustain that excellence or nurture that sense of excellence in every area. Now, when we're talking about the innate, we find the awareness is missing. Why? Because we don't have so much of insight into what the innate is. Yes, we've heard these words soul, spirit, Atma, Shakti, Pran. We've heard, but then how does it relate to me? ठीक है, अच्छी बातें हैं, हाँ होनी चाहिए, शांति होनी चाहिए, आत्मा को अंदर से शक्तिशाली होना चाहिए, लेकिन है क्या ये? I don't understand. So spiritual knowledge gives us the wisdom. The Supreme gives us the spiritual wisdom of who I am within. So the inner organization is made of these three important faculties. And so when we're talking about excellence, it is excellence in empowering the functioning of my mind so that throughout the day, whatever thoughts, feelings, and emotions I'm creating, they add value. They add value to my inner energies also, and they add value to my work also. So that's the first faculty, the mind. That is a creative faculty. The second faculty of the inner organization is my intellect. And that is the power which reasons out and takes decisions. And so we find when we talk about excellence in our intellect, it is how do I imbibe that spiritual wisdom which allows my intellect to be free from the influence of my negative behavioral patterns. Now, when we were talking about harmony, like one of the messages which came, it said it's so difficult, it's so not practical. It's very difficult in real life. Now, what happens in real life, whether it's parents and children, or it's two life partners, or maybe two colleagues at work, or maybe just the client and customer, if they don't have that attention to harmony, and they start arguing and they have conflict, they start maybe reacting with each other, saying something rude and unpleasant, what happens? The situation becomes so negative. And then after some time, you have to come back to that relationship. Now, when you're living with your life partner, you have to come back. But what happens to the time and energy then you have to invest in healing that relationship? It just takes a second to say something very harsh. And sometimes it just takes a second even to maybe use the, do something at a physical level also to hurt the other person. But how much time and energy and investment you have to do to heal that relationship? So is it really wise? Today, we find that social media every day is giving us so many reports of people who intellectually are very powerful, but they make such wrong decisions, which not only harm them, but also create a negative impact in society. Very recently, I think a few months back, we had heard about this woman who was, a lady who was a very effective manager, effective professional. She was the CEO of some organization, and she was having a, challenging relationship with her husband. And they were not on good terms. They had this child who was 4 years old. And how, because of some challenge in that relationship, she was upset about something, some legal order or something. She had come where her husband would have access to meeting her child and because of that, she was so upset, she murdered her son. Now, if you understand that intellectually the person is competent because the person is managing an organization, but would you call this person wise? Can you call this person wise? Can you call this person sensible? Yes. Yes. Can you call this person? What happens? What happens to the intellectual understanding and capability which this individual has, competency which this individual has at that moment, when this person is under the influence of anger or under the influence of hatred, what happens to that individual? The intellect takes such a wrong decision, which that maybe the individual will repent lifelong. Yes. And this is not one situation like that. In social media, every day we listen to such situations happen. So we understand it's not enough for a person to be intellectually capable and informed of what's happening in the world and in knowing how to do things, but to be wise is so important. To be able to see that the intellect is not influenced by any negative personality trait like anger, ego, greed, attachment, because the individual takes such decisions which will ruin his life and even his family and even have a negative impact on society. The third aspect of this inner organization is our sanskars. The good news is that our original sanskars are very divine, very pure. And the Supreme gives us this very beautiful understanding of how we can sustain this pure divine sanskars, original nature. I'm a peaceful soul. I'm a loveful soul. I'm a pure soul. I'm a wise soul. I'm a happy soul. I'm a powerful soul. I'm a blissful soul. This is my true nature. It sounds good when you're listening to these words also. Was it sounding good when you were listening? Yeah, why? Because this is our true nature. I'm a peaceful soul. So throughout the day, I have the power to maintain that calmness so that there's clarity of thought and I can take right decisions. I'm a loveful soul. Every relationship, I will add energy so that we can strengthen our good wishes for each other and keep meeting and connecting and sustaining and being able to work and contribute together. Purity, very pure from within. I am a pure soul. So I can sustain that integrity in my work life, in my relationships, transparency, trust. I trust people, understand their weaknesses, yet have good wishes for them and focus on their virtues. I trust them and I'm able to win their trust also. Important. Wise wisdom for not only knowing what to do, but also doing the right thing. Happiness, that inner sense of deep joy, gratitude for whatever God has given me. If I ask you to create a list of whatever the divine has given you, will the list be small or long? What do you say? I need to know whether you're with me. So I keep asking you some questions. Endless, no? We see people around us, so many people don't have so many things. Even when we see our physical body, we thank the divine for giving us a complete body. When you see people around who have limitations, very recently in the Brahmakumaris, I was talking to you about these different wings. We also have a wing which takes care divang logon ke liye, those who are blind and differently abled. So recently we have had a seminar happening, a retreat happening for them. And I don't remember, but this is an organization from the south, from Karnataka. And, the person was sharing his experience. He's the head of the organization. He had brought 50 of his children there. And they are all blind and differently abled. And he was just sharing the experience that within 3 days, because some blind and some of them were deaf, they were not able to hear, and differently abled, intellectually also limitations were there. And he said, yet in 3 days, he was able to see a lot of calmness and happiness in them. And he said some of them who were not able to speak at all were trying to say Om Shanti. So we were talking, Om Shanti is also greeting in the Brahmakumaris. So he was saying that with a lot of enthusiasm, they were saying Om, Om, bol rahe the. And they were intellectually disabled, intellectually limited. Some of them couldn't see, some of them couldn't hear. And yet there was so much of experience of happiness because the soul internally has a lot of power, is beyond limitations. And so I'm a happy soul. If I see the list of gifts which the divine has given me, there can be only and only gratitude in my heart for everything which God has given me. Power, inner power. The power to be able to remain positive. The power to be able to use only my virtues. Yes, that inner power. And when I experience these 6 virtues, then I can have this deep experience of bliss. Before we end our session today, and we have this little session on meditation, I want to just allow you to understand a little bit of understanding about what science has given us on the power of thoughts. This is an experiment which has been seen in science. It is called Dr. Emoto's effect. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of it? Yes. Okay. Now, what does this say, Dr. Emoto? No? Okay, you've not heard of it. This is a Japanese scientist. You can go on the net sometime and see about it. This Japanese scientist says that pure distilled water, if you are able to keep that exposed in an environment where there's heavy metal music. What is heavy metal music? What is heavy metal music? It's loud music. Yes, loud music, that is this disco music. And so if you expose it to about 2 or 3 hours of this heavy metal music, after some time, if you freeze that water and see it under a microscope, the left image will be seen. That is, it is completely distorted. And the same, okay, and the same, water, if it's exposed to any folk music or any instrumental music like Shehnai, flute, any of that, or any meditation music, then after a few hours, if you freeze that water and see it under the microscope, the right side image will be seen. That is beautiful crystal formations. Then it says, this experiment, that if you have bottle of water and then you just put labels on it, pure distilled water, you put labels. Left side, all the labels have negative words: hate, greed, anger, ego, pain, suffering. And right side, words are positive: happiness, joy, harmony, love, care, concern, compassion. And after a few hours, again, you freeze the water and see it under microscope. Wherever the words were negative, again, there's a distorted image. And wherever the words were positive, there are beautiful crystal formations. Okay. Then what has happened is they've seen the other experiment, which is also very effective, is prayer. So they have a group of people in front of the lake, and they have been asked to pray different prayers, different languages, different religions. And after prayer, same water was seen before prayer, freezed and seen under the microscope. And after a few hours, after prayer, then there are beautiful crystal formations. Even with meditation music or any spiritual music. Most important experiment, very important. Please take attention of this experiment which was done. Polluted lake, far away, so they took a sample. Now this group of people were asked to sit separately. They were not in front of the lake, they were sitting separately. And they were asked to visualize the lake. Suppose you are sitting here now, maybe some of you have joined from your offices, or maybe some other space somewhere. And if I ask you to maybe see your home, see your family, you're not with them, but you can still see them. I'm in Panchkini, I'm asked to see my center in Vileparle in Mumbai. I can see it. How can I see it? Through my mind's eye, not through my physical eyes. So these people were asked to visualize the lake through their mind's eye and then pray. And after a few hours, the sample again was taken after prayer, and again the same crystal formations were seen. So remote prayer experiment also works. What does this tell us? What does this tell us? Yes. For our daily life, what is the insight which this gives us? This is an experiment which has been done by science. So what does it tell us? The impact of our thoughts on excellence, on relationships, on work. So whatever are the quality of our thoughts will be the quality of our experience. Yes? Because our body, how much percent water? Yes? How much percent is our body? Water. Yes? 80%. Yes, 78 to 80%. So what I'm thinking is immediately impacting my body, the water. So if I'm thinking that everything is good, that positive energy is influencing my health. As soon as I get stressed, there's anger, there's fear, there's anxiety, there's hatred, that affects my body, the water. The world is also 2/3 water. Constantly I'm drinking water. So there's a very beautiful experiment which we had through meditation every day, that whenever I'm drinking water or eating food, I give positive energy. That is why they say, Jaisa pani, aisi vani. Jaisa anna, vaisa man. Because the energy which is entering that is impacting me. So it's so important for me to take care of what I'm thinking, so that then I can achieve that sort of empowerment, excellence, that sort of experience of constant benefit, growth in our every area of our life. Now, how do I experience these virtues? Meditation will give me this beautiful technique, beautiful tool to experience these virtues, to empower and recharge these virtues. Now, before we move into this experience of meditation, just helping me to understand that because the soul is the one which is driving the body is like a beautiful and very valuable vehicle, a car, and the soul is the driver. Because the soul drives this body, the soul, that is these 7 virtues, that innate nature, also drives this body, keeps it healthy. So the more wiser I am, I imbibe the spiritual wisdom in my life and I allow it to influence my decisions. That wisdom, that knowledge will nourish my neurosystem, my brain. The more I'm contented, blissful, it nourishes my endocrine system. The more I'm peaceful, it nourishes my respiratory system. That is why many times they say, Shanti no shwas lo. Shanti ka shwas lijiye. That is, that calmness will nourish recharge my respiratory system. Love, good wishes and love for all, respect for all, forgiveness, that nourishes my cardiac vascular system. Purity, where I am pure from within, where I allow myself to experience that innate qualities. And so I experience that purity within. No negative feeling for myself or others, pure from within. It nourishes my circulatory system, blood and skin. Happiness, it nourishes my digestive system. That is why our elders used to say, khushi se khao, to pach jayega. That is, happiness nourishes my digestive system. Power, inner power, it nourishes, nurtures my skeletal system. Yes. So when I'm meditating, I'm automatically giving energy. And meditation does not mean a long time. Today we'll spend 2-3 minutes, but it's that little moment which I create throughout the day for myself. And that 1 minute of silence, 1 minute of meditation, what happens physically? I slow down my heart rate, my breathing, it normalizes my blood pressure, my oxygen, is also increased. It's natural pranayam. I help to use more oxygen efficiently. It slows down my aging process. It strengthens my immune system. What happens for healing? That 1 minute, I can heal myself. Maybe the past situation or interaction was a little stressful. In that 1 moment, I connect to myself, I connect to the divine and heal myself. No matter how tired I am, how busy I am, I can still give myself that gift of that little minute. What happens when I am in a pressured day? That little moment, is wonderful. It's like a retreat. All of us, we want this little retreat from, break. So that moment of silence, I can be a retreat from the pressures of the environment, find that calmness within, strengthen myself, recharge myself, and come back into the situation, come back into whatever I was doing, feeling much more charged now. Yes. So let us try to experience that little meditation. Yes. Okay. So I would request you to, for 2 minutes, to keep your videos on so that we know that you're there in front of us and you can experience this meditation. Yes, just 2 minutes. Now, what are we going to do in this little moment of silence or meditation? We are going to recharge our spiritual self, recharge our soul battery. Like, we recharge our mobile, we connect the mobile through the charger to an electrical source. Here we are connecting our mind and intellect to the supreme source. Now, whenever we connect to the charger, those 2 pins enter the electrical source, the plug. And so here we allow our mind to connect to the supreme and our intellect. Our mind will create thoughts and feelings, and our intellect will visualize. Like now I'm talking to you, so I can see you and I can hear you. Okay, that's an important part of communication. Now in meditation, Our thoughts become our language of communication, and our intellect becomes the eye, the third eye, we call it, the eye of the intellect, the inner eye through which we visualize our thoughts. Like suppose I'm asking you to see your, maybe if you're sitting in your office, if I ask you to see your family, your home, or your maybe your life partner, or maybe your child, you can see them. Yes. Now, how are you seeing them? Through your intellect, through your mind's eye. So as soon as you created a thought, my child, my son, my daughter, you immediately saw them. But you didn't only see them, you also felt that love. As soon as you created the thought, my son, my daughter, what is the feeling which came within? There was a lot of love. There was a lot of belongingness. Yes. A lot of bonding with that child. Yes. So in the same way, now we will also through meditation create those thoughts, enjoy those feelings, enjoy that inner emotion and pure feelings, and also visualize the Supreme. Okay. So let's have a little moment for ourselves. As I allow myself to be seated calmly, I choose to close my eyes for some time. In the beginning, maybe it is much more convenient to close our eyes and have silence. But after some time, through practice, we will learn to meditate with eyes open. In this silence, I allow myself to sometime disconnect from the outside world, the world of my work, my family, my responsibilities. And as I gently disconnect, I become aware only of myself. I enjoy my own company. Finally, I have been able to create that little time for myself where I'm just with myself. Allow yourself to be seated erect, your hands on your lap. And as you feel this silence within, through your mind's eye, see this beautiful light in the middle of the forehead. You have now realized that the physical identity which you see in the mirror every day is your physical self, your body being God's most wonderful gift to you. And yet, there is a spiritual energy which is guiding this body. Through your mind's eye, visualize this beautiful light shining in the midst of the forehead. And as you become aware of this light, enjoy this moment of silence. Visualize your family, your loved ones. We were speaking about the family some time back. Through your mind's eye, see your family, your life partner, your children. And now see the beautiful light shining between their foreheads. They're also peaceful souls, beautiful souls, and send the vibration of love, of happiness to each one of your loving family. Your life partner, your children, your parents, and other people in the family. And as you are remembering them, visualize the light of God, God's blessings, God's love, like a circle of divine light around each one in your family. Visualize this beautiful circle of light around your life partner, like a circle of protection around each of your child, and each loving member of the family. And as you're sending this vibration of peace, love, and happiness to them, your heart is full of gratitude for them, each one contributing to their sense of happiness in your family. And now you can move to the bigger family, the family at work. And through your mind's eye, see the team with whom you work with, your teammates, people supporting you, your clients, and all those people with whom you interact every day at work. And send this vibration of love and good wishes to them. See the beautiful soul shining between the forehead. See each one of them as a loving soul, a brother soul, a part of this loving family. And as you're sending vibrations of respect, of love, of gratitude, of compassion to each one of them, visualize the light of God like a circle of protection for all of them. Visualize your clients, your colleagues with whom you interact every day or alternate days. See the light of God like a circle of divine protection for them. Send these good wishes that they always remain happy and healthy. Visualize even your chamber of tax consultants, each member, seeing them as beautiful souls, as loving souls, as your brother souls, and sharing this vibration of love, of respect, of joy to each one of them, wishing each one of them a lot of happiness. Seeing the light of God like a circle of protection for each one of them, keeping them healthy, keeping them happy and safe. And now for a few moments, see the world in front of you, the globe in front of you. And as you see the entire world, different countries, different colors, different religions, different cultures, and yet you see each one of them, see the light between their foreheads and see them as beautiful souls, as your brother souls. And share this vibration of peace, love, strength to each one of them. Visualize the light of God like a circle of protection for them, healing them, strengthening them. See the energy of God, God's light of peace surrounding the entire world, healing nature, giving hope and strength to every soul. And as your heart is full of these pure good feelings, these powerful positive vibrations, you feel so light within. You feel blessed. Allow yourself to experience God's light of blessings around you, the circle of divine light, circle of divine protection around you. Feeling peaceful, feeling blessed. You can now come back gently to the awareness of the present. Come back to the awareness of your environment around you. You can open your eyes, and you're here in the present. I hope you were able to have a few moments of relaxation. Yes? Do you think it's possible for us to spend a few moments every day to give this energy to our family? You think? Yes, to our work also, with whom every meeting we are going to happen, like just before a meeting, before an interaction at work, whether it's professionally or whether it's for the chambers of commerce, whether it's for society. Good, important. And to the world also, few moments. And automatically we find that we are able to contribute so much for the world's happiness also. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Do we have any questions? You can type it in the Q&A box.
Yeah, the chat box.
Oh,
I think your the visibility is gone, no? It's very
yes.
less. Hmm.
Actually, you've taken the
Now
session
it's better.
so nicely. There are no questions, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Thankfully,
very
now it's better.
peaceful
Very
understanding.
peaceful session.
Majority of them have been answered during the session. So it's been a privilege.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was asking a lot of questions just to be sure that you're with me.
Very much with you, madam.
Yeah, it was.
In fact, at
It
those
is
last,
magnanimous to hear you for the last 1.5 years or so.
Yeah.
and last few moments of that meditation, it led to something different aura itself.
Very divine, actually.
Very divine and absolutely feeling, I would not term it as sleepy, but something very deep into meditation, something sort of, maybe for a little while, but still.
Yeah, I'm sure. And collectively, it's
Vijay,
very powerful.
I will put a right word to what you're trying to say. There's some science which calls that once you reach the theta stage of mind, you think really powerful. And I think
yeah.
in that last few minutes, we all reached the theta stage of mind.
Correct. So thank you so much, Deepa Ben.
Thank you. Thank you
Our
for your
everyone's
time.
pranam to you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, madam.
The power of shape lies, the power to shape our life lies within us. So let's embrace our journey as within every challenge lies an opportunity for growth. You are the author of your story, so write it boldly with courage and conviction. Thank you, Sister Deepa Ben, for sharing your incredible wisdom. I request CA Tanvi Vora to give a hearty formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Tanvi.
Sashita, you took most of the words away from my heart. It was a genuinely very peaceful session, great food for thought. In fact, I personally struggle with meditation because I just go into overthinking mode, and you gave me at least, and I'm sure every participant here today, a lot to think about, a lot to work on ourselves. And that is the innate nature that we need to bring out rather than having the busy conscious mind always running in 20 directions. In fact, I think while we were meditating also, there were 3-4 times in between that my concentration was broken. And I mean, as an individual also, a lot of us need to learn.
Yeah, it's absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. Pranam once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. And from all the participants here today, my genuine thanks from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deepa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a really lively session. Thank you once again, Pranam.
Thank you. Thank you, Piram. Thank you. Thank you, Vijay Bhai.
And with that, we end today's session. I think Premal Bhai, Ashita, Tanvi.
Absolutely.
Thanks every participant, and let's carry this bag of power of concentration for all of us at home and start implementing. Time starts now.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
Bye.